Hello there, students. I just want to go through a worksheet that was due today. Most of you guys did pretty good. There are a number of people who didn't do it correctly, so I just want to go through it. So first thing, we want to make sure our equation equals 0. So it equals 0, so we're good. Now we're going to draw the x to factor it, so we'll just do it here. Okay, so we multiply first number and last number. 1 times 2 is 2. So what multiplies it 2? The only thing that multiplies it 2 is 1 times 2. We need it to add to -3. So the middle number goes down here. Okay, so we need to know what multiplies to +2 and adds to -3. Since they multiply to a positive and add to a negative, they're both negative. So the only factors that do it are -1 and -2. So -1 times -2 is +2. They add to -3. And now we put them in parentheses. X minus 1 times x minus 2. Once you do that, factor it, you need to solve. Set each factor equal to 0. So you would add 1 here, x is equal to 1, add 2 here, x is equal to 2. So this is what you're going to go through with these. We want to go through like for number 4. When I go to factor this one, it equals 0, so we're good here. So we draw the x. 1 times 25 is 25, so what multiplies to 25 and adds to 10? So what multiplies to 25 are 1 and 25, 5 and 5. They add to a positive, multiply to a positive, so they're both positive. So it would just be 5 and 5. So those would be my two factors. Put them in parentheses, x plus 5 and x plus 5. Set them each equal to 0. So subtract 5, x equals -5. Now if you look at it, in this case, I subtract 5, I get x equals -5 again. So I only need to write it one time. You don't need to write it twice. So this is what you'd be going through as you look at it. A couple other ones that created a little bit of issues. Number 8 was one of them. So we'll go through number 8. So I'll go through, so when you come to like here, it doesn't equal 0, so we have to subtract 40. We have to subtract 40, so that'd be x squared minus 3x minus 40 equals 0. Now we can draw the x. 1 times 40 is -40, so what multiplies to -40 and adds to -3? So that's what we're looking for. So what multiplies to 40, so you could go 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 3 doesn't work, 4 and 10, 5 and 8. Okay, we want it to add to -3, so multiply to negative means one of them is negative, and it adds to negative, so it would be -8 and 5. Those would be my two factors. So I set each one of those equal to 0, and then I solve from there. So I add 8, x equals 8. I subtract 5, x equals -5. So those would be my two ways that I go about doing it. When we come to number 8, so we subtract 43 from each side. And so now you have x squared plus 3x. And then -11 minus 43 is -54 equals 0. So we get it equal to 0, draw the x. 1 times -54 is -54. Adds to 3, so what two numbers? So again, what multiplies to 54? 1 and 54. I need to add, multiply to negative, so one of them is negative. 2 and 27. 3 would work. 3 and 18. 4 doesn't work, 5 doesn't work, 6 and 9, 7 doesn't work, 8 doesn't work. So this one, -6 and 9, are the ones that work. So we'd say x minus 6 and x plus 9, and then you'd set each factor equal to 0 and solve for it. So once I'm done, I get x is equal to 6, subtract 9, x equals -9. Those would be the two solutions as I go through it. So that's what we go through. Get the equation equal to 0. Once it equals 0, factor. Once they're factored, set them equal to 0. Or set each factor equal to 0.